Good evening, Dhamma friends. Welcome back. We are going to start off our OPRC class now. So let us pay respect to the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahatu samma sambuddhassa. So today we are going to learn another stanza from the chapter on wise. So let us take a look at the stanza. So this is Dhammapada's 80, stanza number 83. Sabbatha ve sappurisa chajanti na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukhena putta atava dukena na uchavacham pandita dasyayanti. Sabbatha ve sappurisa chajanti na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukhena putta atava dukena na uchavacham pandita dasyayanti. Now, may I ask from groups, starting from group 1. Anybody who would like to read, please raise your virtual hand. Yes, Polly, please.
Okay, Hotu, thank you, Bhante. Sabata ve sapurisa chajanti na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukena putta atta wa dukena na uchawacham pandita dasayanti.
Okay, great. And group 2, yes. Anyone from group 2? Yes. Suzanne, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Sabata ve sapurisa chajanti na kama kama lapayante santo sukena puta atava dukena na uchavacham pandita dasayanti.
Okay, great. And
Thank
group
you.
3. Yes, Lisa.
Good evening, Bhante.
Yes, good evening.
Sabata ve suparisa kajanti na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukena puta ata ve dukena na uchavacham pandita dasayanti.
Great. A small thing to say. Sabbatave, and then in the third line, Sukhena putta ata.
Sukena puta ata
Va duke.
va dukena.
One. The rest is fine. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Great. And group 4, KBR, please.
Thank you, Bhante. Sabata wa sapurisa chayanti. Chajanti. Yeah, chajanti. Na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukena puta atawa dukena. Na uchavacham pandita dasayanti.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And group 5. Yes, Melinda, please.
Thank you, Bhante. Sabata ve sapurisa chajanti na kama kama dapayanti santo. Sukeno puta ata wa dukena na ucha wacham pandita dasayanti.
Okay, great. And group
Thank you, Bhante.
Group 6. We have two who would like to read. Is it TC or Senfong?
Sing Fong can read first. Okay. Sing Fong, please.
Yeah, I think she withdrew, so you can read. I will give the chance to her later. Yes, TC, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sabata we sapurisa chacanti. Na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukina putta atawa dukina. Na uchawakacham padita dasayanti.
Okay, great. And
Thank you.
Group 7. Yes, Stella, please.
Thank you, Bhante. Sabata ve sapurisa kajanti na kama kajanti.
Not
Chajanti.
kajanti. Chajanti.
Chajanti.
Yes, because in Pali, kajanti means K. If it is C, ch. Right, ch. So, sabata ve sapurisa chajanti.
Chajanti.
Great. Yes.
Na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukena putta at va dukena na uchavacham pandita dasayanti.
Okay, great. Yes. And Group 8. Someone from Group 8.
Bhante, can I try?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Bhante. Sapata va sapurisa chayanti.
Sabata ve.
Sapata ve sapurisa chayanti. Na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukena putta atawa dukena na ucha wancham pandita dasayanti.
Okay, can you read the third line again, please?
Okay. Sukena putta atawa.
It's not putta. Putta means sons. Here, putta. Putta. You can see two dots here. You can see two dots. It has to become ter, not ter. Putta.
Putta. Okay.
Putta.
Sukena putta atawa dukena.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. Now I would like to ask from others, if anybody would like to read. We will start with Sinfong. Sinfong, please.
Thank you, Bhante. Sapata ve sapurisa Sabata ve sapurisa chajanti. Na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukena putta atta wa dukena. Na ucha wacham patita dasayanti.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And Oi, please.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Sabata ve sapurisa jajanti na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukena putha atawa dukena na uchawachang pandita dasayanti.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Uchumo, please.
Good evening. Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Sabata ve sapurisa chajanti na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukhena Buddha Attava Dukkena na Uchawacham Pandita Dasayanti.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. Next, Kim.
Thank you, Bhante. Sabata va sapurisa chajanti.
Sabata way, not way.
Sabata ve sapurisa chajanti. Na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukina putra ata ve dokina. Na ucha wachang pandita dasayanti.
Okay, Sukhena Putta Atava Dukhe.
Sukina putra atawa dukina.
So here ve, here va. Ve va.
Okay, thank you.
And then Nayan Chen, please.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Sabata ve sapurisa chajanti. Na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukhena Buddha Attava Dukkena. Na Uchavachang Pandita Dasayanti.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Maylin, please.
Sukhihoto Bhante.
Yes, okay.
Sabata ve sapurisa chajanti. Na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukhina Buddha Attava Dukkena na Uchawachang Pandita Dasayanti.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Isa, please.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay.
Sabata ve sapurisa chajanti na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukhena Buddha Attava Dukkena na Uchavachang Pandita Dasayanti.
Okay, great. And yes, CHF, please.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Okay. Sabata ve sapurisa chajanti. Na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukhena Buddha Attava Dukkena. Na Uchawacham Pandita Dasayanti, sorry.
Okay, great.
Eric, okay.
And Margaret.
Okay, thank you.
Bhante. Sabata ve sapurisa chajanti na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukhina Buddha Attava Putta. Sukhina Buddha Attava Sukhina. Dukkena, sorry. Na Ucha Vacham Pandita Dasayanti.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Next will be Seri, please.
Sukhihoto Bhante. Sabata ve sapurisa chajanti. Na kama kama lapayanti santo. Sukhena Buddha Attava Dukkena. Na Uchawachang Pandita Dasayanti.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And anybody else who would like to read? Right, if there is no anyone at this point, so we will take a look at the stanza and then see the translation, literal and contextual translation. This verse is about wise people as to how they deal with the happiness and unhappiness. It is very interesting how they deal with happiness and unhappiness situations in their life. Of course, we are supposed to be panditas, and this does not only mean that enlightened ones only deal happiness, unhappiness this way. And this should be our way of dealing with daily situations that are primarily coming from happiness and unhappiness aspects. Okay, so the first thing that wise individuals, that means panditas, are actually doing with regard to happiness and unhappiness is sabbatave sappurisa chajanti. Sabbatta means in all places, in all situations, daily situations, and any situation. Sappurisa means another word for Pandita. Chajanti. Chajanti means give up. Now, this Pali word has been discussed with its state of mind before. May I know what is the Pali word? Pali, I would say the state of this particular word, chajanti, chajati. It comes like this, chajati. And then this is plural, huh? Chajanti. Chajati means, have you ever found out this Pali word in your reading before?
Abandon, Bhante.
No, I mean, have you ever found out this Pali word not from the verb like this, chajati, chajanti. Chajati means give up, and chajanti means give up in plural sense. In a way, as a state of activity.
Abandon unwholesome karmas.
No, I'm looking for a Pali word.
Oh,
Pali word.
Aga.
This is the verb, huh?
Aga, is it?
No, I think you know a Pali word called chaga, right?
Chaga, yes.
Chaga, chajanti. That means every time when you are doing generous activity, I have been repeatedly discussing with you about generosity has two aspects, dana and chaga. Right? Dana has a verb, deti. Deti means to give, and then chajati means to chaga, to give up. So this is the verb of chaga. That means when it comes to generosity, you have to chajati, give up. Right? Now, it's very beautifully given in this stanza about the role of chaga is to give up, and what is to be given up? In all places, any clinging with regard to 5 aggregates. Right? That's the most important thing in our life. I think if you want to look for a shortcut to happiness, you need to give up any clinging to 5 aggregates. Right? Chajati. Sabbatave sappurisa chajanti. Sappurisas are always giving up the clinging with regard to the 5 aggregates. Now we will talk about 5 aggregates a little bit. That's a very beautiful, interesting topic because this is what the Buddha said to be the most important thing that everyone has to understand with regard to dukkha, the Pali word dukkha. May I know, let us talk about dukkha first, and then we will get a certain background to Panchakanda and then come back to Chajati, Chajanti context. May I know, how did the Buddha explain dukkha in the Pali Canon? We have discussed this, but I just want you to come up with some ideas about it. The Buddha classified dukkha into 3 parts. There are 3 types of dukkhas. What's the first dukkha?
Dukkha.
And
Dukkha.
dukkha is the first dukkha. Why? Does it mean that dukkha is being double? No, that's a different kind of dukkha is double, right? Actually, we double our dukkha, right? We have a small dukkha, but the way how we perceive can double that particular small dukkha, and dukkha has been doubled then at that point. Right? Anyway, dukkha has a different interesting meaning. What does dukkha mean? basically speaking, physical pain or direct pain. If you take it from affective quality, direct pain. Now, when you have an injury, right? When you have a cut, burn, right? When you fall, if you fall, right? Those are direct pain, right? We feel it. We feel it right away. So that is called dukkha dukkha, right? And the second dukkha is
Viparinama dukkha.
viparinama dukkha. Viparinama dukkha means
Changes, due to
dukkha,
changes.
dukkha that arise from not being able to understand the changes in our life or in other people's life too, or with regard to anything, right? That is called viparinama dukkha. Dukkha dukkha, then viparinama dukkha.
Sankara, the third one.
Yeah. So viparinama dukkha is very obvious in our life because actually we make a mistake in our life with regard to not being able to understand viparinama dukkha. The mistake is that we don't bring viparinama dukkha with regard to the happy things, happy changes that happen to us. Yes, I will write down. Don't worry. First, I will explain and then I will write down. That's a very important point. I mean, we always look at changes that we don't like, getting sick all of a sudden, maybe a demotion in someone's job, someone's change in behavior, maybe in a different way, right? So normally people, I mean, as a whole, most of us, if we don't know proper Dhamma, we take change as something that gives us pain or dukkha. But do we also include happy changes too, as to understanding viparinama dukkha? Promotion in someone's job, a compliment someone is making, right? Somebody is very negative about you for many years, and suddenly that person comes up with a happy thought about you, and then there's a good change, right? And maybe a sudden increase in your finances, right? And you find out different areas to make more money in ethical ways, right? Maybe you become better in following Dhamma, which you did not get used to in the last many years. And you find Dhamma in a way that is very synthetical and that is very fluid from, I mean, how you used to practice Dhamma in the last many years. Changes, happy changes. But we don't feel unhappy about it. We don't feel what do you call any pain with regard to that. But some people can make it to dukkha. Because when you are too happy unnecessarily about something, that can create sometimes a dukkha. That's why the Buddha said, when you are happy, you need to cultivate another good quality. What is it? Patience, khanti. Otherwise, you will ruin yourself. When you are happy, you are supposed to practice khanti, patience. Because most people only become patient when they go see a doctor, because they want to get checked, diagnosed, and get treatment. Otherwise, they don't want to be patient, right? So that is called viparinama dukkha, dukkha that arises from changes, specifically speaking, negative, unhappy changes. Third dukkha, which as Sumitra said, sankhara dukkha. This is very interesting, actually. Sankhara dukkha. This is where I'm going to make the link to Panchakanda. Sankhara dukkha means, now we feel direct pain.
Formation.
Yeah, we feel the direct pain. Direct pain is dukkha dukkata, right? And we can also go through the changes. happily or unhappily. We can feel it too. But Sankhara Dukkhata talks about a very massive, larger layer of our dukkha. That includes the massive level of dukkha in our life. Right? Because nowadays we are not talking about personal tanha. Long time ago we were talking about, yes, I have craving, that's why I'm struggling in my life. Now we are talking about collective tanha, collective craving. Think about capitalism, politics, right? Attention economy, social media, right? Digital platforms. Things have come down to a certain place where people crave together, right? So it has come down to a collective craving, and many people are struggling because of such people's collective craving. And at that point, we look at collective happiness well-being, not only my happiness. And we have to come up with very worthy causes, how to contribute to the well-being of many people. Not only looking for my own happiness. Okay, I follow a Noble Eightfold Path, so I'm happy, that's enough. What is your contribution to the society? Right? That is very important to understand with regard to Sankhara Dukkha. So Sankhara Dukkhata means the inherent dukkha that we have. Now, if Dukkha Dukkhata means direct pain, Viparinama Dukkhata is to mean pain arising from change. And Sankhara Dukkhata means pain that is inherent, embedded, because we carry 5 aggregates. That's how we have to look at it. Why do we have the inherent pain, inherent dukkha? Because we are composites of 5 aggregates, because we carry 5 aggregates. Not we carry, we have to carry. Right? There's no other choice, right? We have to carry 5 aggregates. Now, what are the types of examples of Sankhara Dukkhata? Anything that is regarding my body, your body, and other people's body. Anything that is regarding my and your feelings. Anything that is regarding your perceptions, my perceptions, and how I perceive, how I misperceive, how you perceive, how we misperceive about reality. Anything about my own karma, your karma, and not even my karma, your karma. Just like how we discuss collective craving, collective karma. Right? Nowadays, people as a group, they gang up, they make collective karma. They can gang up nicely and then badly. I mean, right? Think about people who are engaging in kusala activities as a group of people, and many people who are gang up to do unwholesome things. Think about a massive scam chain, you know. Many people are promising jobs and everybody is scammed, right? Thousand people are scammed. Maybe a group of people, maybe a fake company, and they are what they are doing. They are doing that collective bad karma, right? So that's why now we have to go beyond individual tanha and individual well-being. I mean, that means we have to keep it. We have to keep to our individual activities. But we also have to understand what is happening at the collective level. Because nowadays we are highly connected digitally in the world, unlikely 15, 20 years back, right? So if something is going to mess up, maybe many people will be messed up as a result of that. That's why we have to look at it from that level too. So Sankhara Dukkhata, once again, Sankhara means here, what do you call, mental formations under the 4th aggregate, and the 5th one, Vijnana, consciousness. Anything that is arising due to the use of or misuse of mind and your consciousness. So Sankhara Dukkhata means inherent or embedded pain that is arising due to the use of 5 aggregates. So then we are supposed to maintain our 5 aggregates. What is the problem with the 5 aggregates? Is taking 5 aggregates as 5 aggregates a problem?
No.
What is the issue?
Upadana, the clinging, Bhante.
When someone develops clinging towards 5 aggregates, then 5 aggregates will become a problem to maintain. So we call it Pancha Upadana Kanda. Kanda is a general thing that we all carry, even animals, even devas, even manusas like us. But when someone develops a clinging, then that will be the issue. Actually, when you look at Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the Buddha's first Dhamma talk, and Satchavibhanga Sutta, which was given by Arahant Sariputta, and many other suttas where Buddha talks about dukkha, Buddha makes an emphasis at the end. He's talking like, what do you call, birth is dukkha, getting sick is dukkha, aging is a dukkha thing, death is a dukkha, being able to get in touch with the people that you don't like is a dukkha, and being separated from the loved ones is a dukkha, and then not being able to get what you want, not being able to get what you want, obtain what you want is a dukkha. And then the Buddha is making the emphasis. If you cannot yet understand the dukkha definition, I tell you in one short sentence. Sankittena panchupadana kanda. In brief, clinging to the 5 aggregates is the dukkha. Actually, that is what is manifesting with birth, sickness, aging, and all that. Isn't it? That means sankhara dukkha is the higher layer of all the dukkhas. Dukkha dukkhata also comes from sankhara dukkhata. Viparinama dukkhata also comes from sankhara dukkhata. Then what should we do? Suppose you become an enlightened person, an arahant. Would you finish taking care of your 5 aggregates body at that point? Let's say you become an arahant at a certain point, right? If all goes well. At that point, would you be free from panchakanda, 5 aggregates?
No.
That's the problem, right? In other religions, when they talk about the highest happiness, they would like to grant you everything. But even you become enlightened, you still get sick. You still have to die. You still age. You still have to go through separation from the loved ones. You may still have to go through being with the people you don't like. You still have to be disappointed. Other people might let you down. So we understand that all these are happening because we are carrying Panchakanda body. So we don't have to hate about it. Rather, we understand what to do with regard to Panchakanda. This is the very thing that Sappurisas, when you are a Sappurisa, I assume you are Sappurisa already, you all are Sappurisa, have to do with regard to everything in our life. That's what the Buddha mentions here. Sabbattave Sappurisa Jajanti. Some people wrongly understand. Sappurisas let go all the time. It is better to say Sappurisas are giving up the clinging with regard to the Panchakanda. Right? That is better, especially as a layperson. You will understand that better rather than you saying, if you are a Sappurisa, I have to let go everything. Can you let go everything in your life? May I know? Can you let go your loved ones? Can you let go your finances? Can you do that? So that is not a good translation. It's better to say while you manage them healthily, holistically, right? You love the people you love. You take care of the money for you. You have financial management, which the Buddha talks in Patakama Sutta and Tigajana Sutta and many suttas. But you don't develop upadana towards any of those things. They are coming out of Panchakanda experience. If Panchakanda experience is going to be messed up, then it can be a problem. So it's better to translate Sappurisas are giving up the clinging with regard to the Panchakanda. Now I have another follow-up question to you. Now in Buddhism, the Buddha is asking us, this is the way that you need to become a Sotapanna. That is, Sotapanna means the first stage of being an enlightened person, right? I think you know, most of you know. And then there is another higher stage called Sakadagami. And if you make your way to the third one, Anagami, and you may become an Arahant. Some people, they make it to becoming an Arahant right away, right? So even when you look at Sotapanna state, right? The Buddha said, if you want to become a Sotapanna, what you are supposed to do? You need to first overcome Sakkaya Ditthi, right? This is the first thing that we have to overcome. Don't think about any other thing. Huh? Some people are going to think about what should I get rid when I want to become an Arahant. First, you need to get rid of Sotapanna problems. Don't talk about Arahant problems. We have barriers to become a Sotapanna. First barrier, the most important barrier, that is what we need to dismantle at the beginning. That is called Sakkaya Ditthi. Sakkaya Ditthi means identifying continuing self. And the Buddha said, there is no self that is continuing. I would say a permanent self. There is a self which is changing. How do people do that identification? They do the misidentification by not properly understanding the 5 aggregates. So that means understanding 5 aggregates is the key to become a Sotapanna. Right? That's the most important thing in the Dhamma. That's why Buddha is using this 5 aggregate understanding to dukkha, becoming a Sotapanna, and all that. So it's very important not to identify excessively. Actually, we identify in a certain way, right? I have my own rupa, I have my own vedana, I have my own sanya, sankhara, vijnana, but I don't have to think that they are permanent, right? I always have to understand they are dynamic, fleeting, and this is what is happening beneath all the sentient beings. But if I think there are no 5 aggregates, it is this particular person, XYZ person, who is living in this body, and someone was wrong to that person, and someone did good things to that person. If we carry that kind of a permanent thought, then we are not able to get into the opposite of Sakkaya Ditthi. Opposite of Sakkaya Ditthi is Samadhi, right? Right way. So that's very important. So being able to properly understand 5 aggregates is the key to handle everything in our life. Now, Panditas have already understood and have gone to that level, and they know how to manage their feelings. Now, this particular stanza talks about feelings. Now, let's take a look at the second, third, fourth line. What are they going to do? Now, Sabbattave Sappurisa, Sabbattave Chajanti. The noble ones, Panditas, wise people, they give up the clinging to 5 aggregates in all places. And at the same time, the kama kama lapayanti santu. Santo is another word for noble ones. What does santo mean? Santu? Have you ever found out this Pali word too?
Yeah, virtuous men, good people, wise people.
Yeah, this is another acronym to
Sage.
to the good people. But have you found out this Pali word with regard to
Peace.
any other context? Yes, Santu. We find this in the Metta Sutta, right? Karaniya matta kusalena yantam santam. Santam. Santam padam. The state of peace. Those people who want to get to the state of peace should cultivate 15 skillful habits. Sakko, Uju, Soju, Suvacho, right? Very interesting. So that means the state of peace, which is of course Nibbana, is the state of pursuit of the Panditas. If Panditas have not yet made way to that point, let's say there is a Pandita who is unenlightened, there can be Panditas definitely, but their pursuit is to get to that state. So we can take it as a synonym to Pandita or Sappurisa. Now, what are they doing with regard to giving up, clinging to 5 aggregates? Santo na kama kama lapayanti. Lapayanti means lapayanti. Talk about. Maybe we will use this English of prattle. They don't prattle about na kama kama. I use the word overindulgence, but some books have used the word whims and fancies, desires, karmas, and all that. Normally, have you seen some people are always talking about there are different, what do you call, things that they like, that they don't like. Is it bad to discuss with somebody about what you like, what you don't like? There's no problem to discuss as such, right? Then you will understand what you want, what you need, what you would like to achieve in your life. But one of the important observations with regard to the balas is that they are always talking about sensual gratification stuff. I mean, overindulgent stuff. I went to this place, so much food, I couldn't even finish them, And then people, oh, really? What kind of food were they, And then if you talk to that person 5 times, always talk about the food, so much food on that table. Right? So much to see. I mean, it's not bad to give a compliment about a food table. There's nothing wrong with it. But what if you are always talking about these things with people? Always. Right? So that kind of experience is not the Pandita's experience. Pandita can enjoy food better than normal people. That's the most important thing. But they don't show it to other people. Should we have to show to other people about our experiences, right? Panditas don't show that. Panditas can understand it. Why people are trying to show it? Maybe they want to tell other people, if you want to go for a restaurant, you can go to that. That's a good idea. But Panditas can process karmas better than balas. Right? Because why balas are trying to share? Balas are very excited about the food. Balas are very excited about sensual gratification. Panditas are not excited about it. Think about our sensual experiences. What if that you become very excited about sensual gratification? You always keep talking about it. Right? Panditas don't do that. Panditas also go through. Unenlightened Panditas, they still go through sensual enjoyment, but they don't overindulge. They know where to stop, where to start, where to stop. Should Buddhists stop engaging in sensual pleasures? Huh? Should Buddhists, should the followers of the Buddha stop engaging in any sensual pleasures?
No, moderation, in moderation.
Why Buddhists should not be like that?
I think for
And
lay
why?
people, right?
Huh?
I think if you're a lay person, yes, but not for the monks, right? For the Sangha.
No, I'm asking about you.
Okay. You say
Not the Sangha
Buddhist, so
members.
includes
Because we
the
understand.
Sangha.
It is because Buddha introduced us Majjhima Patipada, Noble Eightfold Path. When he was introducing Majjhima Patipada, Noble Eightfold Path, he particularly mentioned about two extreme ends in the pursuit of happiness. Right? So we cannot get into those two things. Think about when somebody was questioned, I don't believe in karma, but I'm still a Buddhist. You can't be a Buddhist if you deny karma. Why? Because if you don't believe in karma, you will fall into the karma sukallika view, overindulgence. That is called nihilism, annihilationism in Buddhism. Because people who believed overindulgence, they made a point, because there is no next life, so I just eat and drink. There's no next life, so karma is not important to me. If there is a next life, I have to be careful, right? Because there is a next life, karma makes an important place. That means if someone denies karma, that person loses right view. And then the person will become a part of karma sukallika. What about someone to think that I have to give a lot of pain to the body? The more pain I give to the body, the happiness will come to me sooner. This is self-mortification. And the Buddha said, by giving pain to the body, you will never find out enlightenment. Right? How do we know that we give pain to the body in our life? We are stuck in our Dhamma practice. We think that practicing Sila is the only way to become enlightened. No Samadhi, no Panya, no concentration, no Panya practice. Some people, they misunderstand. They think only by practicing 5 precepts, I will get to the enlightenment process. No. You need to practice 5 precepts, but that's not the ending of your spiritual path. While practicing 5 precepts, you need to make your way to Samadhi. Cultivation. Cultivation can be a meditation, cultivation may be a dana, cultivation may be a chanting, cultivation may be a vihara activity. All are cultivation activities. And then if you think that cultivation alone is making you to the Nibbana, no. You also need wisdom. That's why the Buddha said the enlightenment process is a triad journey, triangular journey to Nibbana, not a one-way journey. So that's why we need to understand here, we have to have the right understanding about karma. Why some people misunderstand karma? Because they are going to learn what the Buddha said about karmas to the Sangha members. They think this is what we have to do. So they say, oh, from tomorrow, no karma, okay? I want to become karmaless, right? And we know Lobha is a natural part of our life. It doesn't make us monsters, right? Dosa is a natural part of our life. Moha is a natural part of our life. But by understanding that I have Lobha is the Buddhism. Some people even they don't know that they have Lobha. But Lobha is a natural thing. In the same way, sensual gratification is a natural part of our life. But when I understand how much karma I have with regard to Rupa, Saddha, Gandha, Rasa, Pottabha, Dhamma, then I should be able to manage my karma. That is very important, right? Anger is a natural part of our life, right? Isn't it? Do you call anybody a monster when that person is angry? No, you don't say that because it's a natural part of everybody. But if that person understands one's own anger, how it arises, how it stays, how it goes away, then that person is looking at anger through Buddhism. right? Perhaps that person will not be angry at a certain point when that understanding becomes more and more, right? So this is how we need to understand about karma. So karma here means that when you are a pandita, you are not too much excited about karma. Yes, karma is an enjoyment, but you are not very excited about it. Because once you become very excited, then you're going to foolishly share your karma experiences with other people. Unwisely, sorry. Whatever it is, civic word is unwisely sharing your karma experiences. But you know there's an enjoyment and you see the drawbacks. And then you have a very manageable karma experience in your life. Right? So, with regard to karma, Panditas are managing their karmas. Panditas, I think they enjoy more than us. If you are a Pandita, definitely you are managing it. May I know a place of Pandita's enjoyment of karma? There are 2 books about karmas. How did Panditas enjoy karmas? What are those 2 books? Theragata, Therigata in the Kuddaka Nikaya. What are those things? Joyful statements about arahants, male arahants and female arahants about nature. So when we read about these 2 books, we understand, oh, Panditas can enjoy better than us, right? They enjoy better than us. Even the trains are going to, fly. It is also a very joyful experience for them. But for us, oh, just birds, What kind of bird is that? Crane now, Kevin. What is that bird? We only cherry pick about the birds. But cranes, the moment that the cranes are going to fly, that will become a very joyful experience for the arahants. Why? They enjoy karma better than us. There's a Pali stanza, I think Dhammapada somewhere. Ramani yani aranyani yattana ramati jan. The beautiful forest are not enjoyed by the normal people, balas. And then the 2 lines are what do you call? And then arahants, they enjoy better than normal people because they don't stick to the enjoyment. They don't, their enjoyment goes beyond attaching to that particular experience, right? So this is how we understand. I think when we discuss about Pandita's way of enjoying sensuality, in their own ways. Now I'm talking to lay people here. So you can think about that unnecessary excitement can get you out of your wise nature. The third part is Sukhena putta atava dukhena na ucha vachang pandita dasyayanti. Now, Panditas also go through happiness and unhappiness, right? Everybody has to go through because they are worldly conditions. Sukhena means happiness. Dukhena means unhappiness. Putta means, what is putta?
Touched.
Touch. Actually, touch means, T-O-U-C-H, touch means pottaba. Now here, this is a past participle, na? Putta. Past participle in Pali grammar. Putta means now they have been touched by happiness, unhappiness. When going through happiness and unhappiness, assuming that arahants, I would say panditas, enlightened, unenlightened beings, they being touched by happiness, unhappiness, but the ucha vacham dasyayanti, they don't show any highs or lows. They are not showing any emotional highs or lows because they have a better understanding about the experience. Now, how about us? When we go through happiness, we are very excited. We want to share with other people. And then when things don't go very well and we are very upset, mad. We want to look for the culprits. So that means then you have to understand you are not still a Pandita, right? Tell yourself, I'm not still a Pandita. I have something problematic in my life. Right? When you come to the point that you are not showing any particular experience with any particular hardcore experience with regard to happiness, unhappiness, then this is a signal where you have come to the Pandita level. But it doesn't mean that you are normally sharing and it was a happy experience. It was a bit challenging experience. But if you make it to a point that your emotions have been severely affected by those two things, happiness and unhappiness, then you will display so much happiness to other people and so much unhappiness to other people. And that shows that you are not still a Pandita. Because the bottom line of this teaching is the need of getting to Upekka. Right? That is the bottom line here. Because Buddhism talks about Upekka. Upekka means, may I know what is Upekka? Is it neutrality? No, it is not mere neutrality.
Equanimous.
Equanimity.
Yes. It is a wise
balance
understanding.
balance mind.
Yeah, let's say neutrality is a balanced mind, but it is going beyond the neutral mind. It is a wise understanding with regard to what is happening to oneself and to others and to the whole world society, and then properly attending to the matter. You are not going to be falling into indifference or apathy, right? People might say you are very passive person, you are not responding even to these things. No, I mean, you have the wise understanding about what to do, but you are not oscillated by, shaken by anything that is happening. That is the highest quality of Buddhist teachings. Metta, Karuna. Metta is easier than Karuna. Karuna is more challenging than Metta. And Mudita is more challenging than Karuna. And Upekka is the most challenging and the most beneficial quality. Right? If you are struggling to find happiness in your life, then you should look for the Upekka level. Right? So Buddha talks about personal happiness, family happiness, social happiness, global happiness, happiness of the enlightened people. Right? Happiness of the enlightened people is Upekka. Right? So the nature of Panditas with regard to happy, unhappy situations, that they are not shaken by happiness, unhappiness. Right? But the problem here is that some people might think that, okay, I can easily get to this point by having a neutral kind of mind with regard to happiness, unhappiness. I don't think that is possible. Why? Because these Panditas are practicing a lot of things to come to that level. What is the most important thing they practice to come to the Upekka level? Remove the Upadana towards the Panchakanda. They take care of the Panchakanda in the proper way. That is the, what you call, support that they can go through happiness, unhappiness in the same way. Why are normal people not able to go to Upekka? They know Upekka as a technical thing. Upekka is neutral, balanced minded stuff, equanimity. But why can't they go? Because they are too attached to, too clung to their five aggregates. They will never be able to get there. So on one side, they are highly protecting their five aggregates with Upadana. And on the other side, they say, "No, I have Upekka, okay?" How come you have Upekka? Because you are clung to your five aggregates. You identify too much with your Rupa. You identify too much with your feelings. How do we know that someone is identified too much with their feelings? They are complaining a lot. You hurt me a lot. You did this thing to me. You did that to me. You have to do better to me. Why? Because you let me down. You disappointed me. My feelings were not taken care of by you. then that means I have a problem with my Vedana Kanda. Right? Of course, we understand that in relationships, things have to be reciprocal. But what if that you are too much thinking about your Vedana? Then you are clung to your Vedana. What about you have views about you and the society? You have a lot of perceptions about reality. And finally, you are misperceived about reality. And we call it Sankhara problem, right? Sanya problem, right? Viparita Sanya, right? So at that point, you are saying, no, I have upekka. How come you have upekka? You clung to your Sanya. You have to be a free person with regard to 5 aggregates. Then only upekka will naturally arise. Means this stanza clearly shows us the ingredients to go to upekka level. Okay, because with the time constraint, now we are going to the story. Once again, if we translate this way, truly the noble ones, Pandita, give up clinging to the 5 aggregates in all places. They don't prattle about overindulgence in sensual pleasures, whether touched by happiness or by suffering. The wise remain calm and even-minded, showing neither elation nor dejection. Pancha Sata Bhikkhuvat. Okay, we will discuss about this now. The story is about something very interesting. You always admire about Vasa time of Sangha members, right? When the Vasa time comes, you would like to go to Vihara, you want to support, you want to give dana and all that. In one of the Vasas, which the Buddha spent, he went to Veranja place, a village, Veranja, and then the Brahmin Veranja invited the Buddha to stay in Veranja and promising that he would take care of Buddha and 500 monks. But what happened? The story says that Veranja was affected by Mara very badly. Vasavati Mara. So Veranja, Brahmin Veranja forgot about the invitation. That's very interesting, right? When the Mara comes to your mind too much, Mara can do a lot of things to us, right? That's why we have to watch our mind, our thoughts, right, regularly. So what happened? Veranja forgot about his invitation to the Buddha and monks. So then what happened? The Buddha and monks didn't have any proper food for the 3 months. What happened during this time? There was a group of merchants who came with their horses. They took care of them, but giving the food that they brought for the horses. The Pali word for that is Yava, H-A-V-A, Yava. They gave the Yava to Buddha and Sangha members. But the Buddha and Sangha members didn't say any bad thing about the devotee. Right? That's the beautiful thing. The Buddha and Sangha members, of course, they must be enlightened Sangha members. They did not complain anything about Veranja. Say, you invited us to come here, but you are not taking care of us for the 3 months. So what happened after 3 months of Vasa, the Buddha and Sangha members wanted to go to Veranja, Brahmin Veranja's house and then thank him for the invitation, right? And then they left Veranja. They went back to Savatthi, the temple that they stayed, Jetavana. When they arrived in the temple, what happened? Actually, with the Buddha and 500 monks, there were certain devotees as well. Perhaps they are attendant devotees. So those devotees had almost 500 attendants as well. Right? Maybe some kind of maids or kind of people. So when they came back to the Jetavana has a lot of food, right? Food and drinks. So they could eat the leftover of the monks over there. So they started dancing and then they were playing a lot of things at that point because they were able to eat after a long time. At that point, the Buddha, some monks complained this for the Buddha, and the Buddha said that, look at, these Sangha members who stayed with me for the last 3 months, they didn't have food for the 3 months. Even now they are having a lot of food. They have no complaints about anything. That is Pandita nature, right? And then the Buddha narrated a Jataka story like the previous class. Remember, we were discussing about 4 months, and then they were alluded to 4 cats. We narrated the Babu Jataka story. And then here Buddha narrated the Jataka story, which is called Valodaka Jataka. Actually, that story is very interesting because in that story, Buddha was saying there was a king who went to take over a certain who went to solve a certain insurrection in a certain border country, and he was able to successfully do it. And when he came back, he asked his royal forces to feed the horses and donkeys with certain drinks. I think these drinks were extracted from maybe plum or maybe grapes. What happened when the donkeys started drinking the drinks? They were very intoxicated, and they were showing a lot of things to the people. And horses also were given the same grape juice, and they didn't show anything. Then the king asked from the main minister, what is happening here? Horses are not showing anything, but the donkeys are showing a lot of different attitudes, behaviors. And then the main minister told the king, horses are very noble compared to, this is a problem. Some people are not happy with Jataka story. They are saying Jataka stories are putting animals so inferior than the humans. The English idea called speciesism. Humans are superior than the animals. But now in this story, some animals are superior than other animals. We don't know how to interpret that point. But what the minister told the king was, these horses are very noble. Actually, horse is a very noble animal, right? They even sleep by standing, right? They don't perch like the horse attitude. So, and now the Buddha was trying to refer this to the story. Okay, the king in that story was Venerable Ananda. And the main minister who said what was happening to donkeys and horses was me. And the donkeys were those attendants of those devotees. And the horses were the lay devotees who had those attendants. So he was trying to refer to the old story. But anyways, that is true, right? In a way, sometimes practice by different people could be different. But when you look at the stanza and the larger, broader meaning of the stanza, what does it say to us is that how to get to Upekha level as a Pandita. I think that's the most important part of this stanza, because Upekha quality cannot be cultivated without diminishing our clinging towards 5 aggregates. Okay, now we will take a look at some of the points that we will discuss in this verse. We will discuss the rest. Okay, this is what I just mentioned here. True nobility lies in non-clinging to the 5 aggregates. You can see the Sappurisa noble ones, Pandita, give up everything. Everything here means clinging towards 5 aggregates, meaning they no longer cling to the 5 aggregates, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Their freedom is rooted in wisdom that sees these aggregates as anicca, dukkha, anatta, right? True nobility, therefore, is the abandonment of identification with these aggregates and resting in detachment. I want to make a comment with regard to the identification. We still need a normal identification, right? But what is not good with regard to Sakkaya Ditthi means an excessive, obsessive, addictive type of identification with regard to oneself. right? When you are too much defending yourself, when you are too much caught up with your feelings, perceptions, your body, your karma. That's a very important point. Have you seen people, they are very much driven by their own karma? They are clung to their own karma. Sometimes people do good karma, but they are very clung to their karma. How do we know that? I only do good karma. I'm not concerned about other people. I only want to meditate. I'm not concerned about other people's well-being. Nowadays, we go through problems, right? Majority could be good, but the well-being of certain individuals might not be good, and those individuals might behave in a very visceral, cruel way, right? It's happening everywhere sometimes, right? So that's why we want to make sure that everyone is accessible to mental health things. Everyone is taking care of one's own well-being. That is important. Not only me, I might be a good person. Majority of could be like that. But what if there is one evil person? That evil person can do more damage to all of us, right? That's why the Buddha says, when you when the Buddha was asking monks and nuns to talk Dhamma, you also have to talk to people who are not into these stuff, right? We are delivering talks to people who always have an interest about them. We have to bring this message to as many people as we can, right? So there are people who are driven by, who are very much identified with their own karma. That is also clinging to one's own karma. So the first thing that we learn here is that in order for us to get to the level of upekka, so that we are not troubled with any happiness, unhappiness, we factfully and we realistically enjoy that moment, is that try to lower, diminish our clinging towards panchakanda. That will be the leeway that will take us to the upekka level. Upekka does not arise abruptly. Yeah? Don't think that just because you have metta, karuna, mudita, you will have the upekka too. That is neutrality. You may have a balanced mind. Balanced mind alone is not the upekka. Upekka needs more Dhamma understanding with regard to 5 aggregates true nature. And the second point, equanimity in the face of life dualities. I think this one we discussed already. You will read in your own ways later. The illusory nature of overindulgence in sensual pleasures. We'll discuss this. The Buddha does not reject all sensual enjoyment, but cautious against overindulgence and unmindful craving. The noble ones don't speak or act with longing for sensual delight because they understand its fleeting nature and its tendency to enslave the mind. For lay Buddhists, experiencing ethical karma, that is wholesome, mindful enjoyment with the bounds of morality. What is the moral compass with regard to karma? Sila, right? If you look at five precepts, they all talk about ethical compass, right? That means as lay people, your main challenge is how to enjoy karma with sila. Can you negotiate sila? May I know, can you negotiate with sila? No, sila is not negotiable. Huh? You cannot negotiate with sila. It's non-negotiable, right? And sila is the best tool for us to make our karma manageable, right? So that is to be noted as well. And it becomes problematic only when pleasure, karma, dominates one's thoughts, speech, actions. Thus, the path is not repression, but a right balance, enjoying life's beauty without attachment access. Actually, we have to manage our karmas, not let karmas manage us. What is a very good example of karmas are managing us, not we are managing our karmas? Can anybody share anything, any example? What is a good example where karmas are going to manage us rather than we manage our own karmas? A shopping experience can be a good one, right? You go shopping and then you don't want to buy, but you will buy now because you were affected by the karmas that are embedded in the shopping product. Why is it? You could not manage your karmas. Now, those karmas are telling you, you need to buy it. Go to the checkout place. You have to buy me, right? That is how you have to get out of the mall, grocery shop. But what if that you know what you want to buy and you know what you don't want to buy? That is a Buddhist experience. That is what we are talking here. Never let karmas manage you. You manage your karmas. Any moment that you let them manage you, you are in a total mess. You will have to compensate a lot spiritually and even with your purse, with your money as well. Okay. And the third one, contentment amid hardship. The monks at Veranja endured hunger and neglect with quiet dignity. They neither complained nor so. I think we discussed that. And how did they come to the Santuti? The problem came in because of the attendance of the lady devotees. Right? The wise embody emotional balance. This is what we call upekha. The sixth one, the test of character appears in combat. This is very interesting. This is about resilience. In times of difficulty, people often turn inward, become reflective, and even rediscover their spiritual strength. But when comfort and prosperity return, discipline tends to dissolve, and mindfulness weakens. The followers who became noisy and indulgent after the famine. We also have to say that during the time Buddha didn't get food, the 3 months, Vassa time, there was a famine, no food as well. Maybe Viranja forgot about everything because there is a famine as well. How to find food? So, and here, mirror how many of us behave when life gets easy. I think this is very interesting, especially you can test your mindfulness, you can test your compassion, you can test your loving kindness. Normally, you don't test it. What happens is that whenever you are in the highest comfort zone, you practice metta, right? So you think, oh, today I practice metta very much. So I'm happy, see, and you're sharing with other people. 2 hours metta, okay, and then maybe more hours. Maybe I did something about karma. But these qualities will become more meaningful to you when you are able to practice them when you are in a hard time, challenging time, right? Now think about practicing upekka when you are really in a challenging time. Sickness, illness, hospitalization, insult from somebody, criticism, financial loss. While you are having the right attitude of what to do, I need to bounce back now. But while I am bouncing back, I have time to get through, right? Bouncing back will not happen in one day. Resilience will not happen in one day. So I have to be patient. I have to believe in the patience. And I have to bring upekka right now. Right? So that means upekka nature, which this stanza talks about, will be more meaningful to us when we can bring it to our challenging times, not in the comfort zone. Think about you spend time of meditation and all that. What if that you can be mindful when you are too frustrated about something? Right? Do we have a lot of moments of frustration in everyday life? We may have, right? Things don't come to us in the right time, right? And we expect things to happen in a certain way, and things don't happen in that way. Then have you ever told yourself, this is dukkha? Or you told other people, no, that is your problem. That is because of you, I'm suffering now. How did you understand that?
It shall pass, Bhante.
That is how we think at this point. Now, when you are really in the problem, I'm assuming really in the frustration, how do normally people react to that thing? Do they think this is really suffering? And now I have come to the real suffering, which the Buddha said, Yam pichang nalabati tampi dukkha. What one expect, I mean, someone doesn't get what one expect, is a dukkha. Have you told yourself that this is dukkha, or you were trying to pick on somebody? Hey, you are the culprit. Because of you, I had to wait for 2 hours. I had to be like this. I had to be like this. I have to suffer now. That's why these upekha qualities are going to be more meaningful if we could bring them into a real moment. Real moments are the teaching moments. Okay? So next time, let's say you become very frustrated, nothing will happen to you. You will say, okay, I had to understand, Being able to understand will be the most important thing in our life, right? And then, finally, because we will make some time for questions, complaining, this is what I was trying to say, complaining over not having versus understand situation. In modern life, people often complain when things don't go their way. Yet, constant complaining only deepens dissatisfaction. The monks at Veranja, though facing famine, accepted their situation calmly instead of lamenting. This shows that while voicing concerns can be useful, I think it's very important to voice concerns, right? Because sometimes complaining is good, especially in a service culture, right? Let's say you are not happy with the food, you will make a proper complaint. Why is it? Because at least they will serve for the next person in the proper way. Right? If you keep quiet, they will keep doing the mistake. But you have to do it in the proper way. But what if that you are going to be a perfectionist? You are always looking for the, what do you call, those gray stuff, right? Then everybody will be very uncomfortable with you, right? When you are coming, oh, the biggest complainer is coming now to this place, right? That will not be a good feeling. Right? While a moderate type of ethical complaining is good, but if you try to have a constant complaining temperament, that could be a problem. That will not help you to understand the larger, broader thing. By pausing to ask, is this within my control? We shift from blame to clarity. Complaining without insight creates energy. Understanding transforms frustration into learning. Teaching moments. When we see things as conditioned and impermanent, sankhara and anicca, dissatisfaction, dukkha, becomes a moment for mindfulness, not myself. That dukkha will be a teaching moment. That dukkha will not make us into further dissatisfaction. Right? So I think upekha's larger, broader nature is that being able to understand. That understanding primarily comes from having the right attitude towards the 5 elements. Okay. All right. So now we will take some time for any questions. We already got a couple of questions here. What are they? Yes, I will type in the 3 types of dukkha, maybe later in the group, WhatsApp group. Can you please give some examples of how when happiness arises when we need practice? Patience. Okay. Now think about a moment of happiness. Now we are happy, right? We are learning Dhamma and then trying to contemplate, right? But we understand the nature of this happiness, right? All our mental states are subject to anicca, dukkha, anatta, right? So we don't have to take it as a standalone happiness. That means we will bring that upekha nature with regard to any state of mind. We are not too much happy and we are not too much, of course, we are not definitely dissatisfied with what's happening. So bringing upekha into happiness is what you call this management. So being able to bring upekha will only be possible if you have the right attitude towards your 5 aggregates. Otherwise, if you don't do that, if you merely look for the upekha, it might be difficult, challenging, because there might be a very standalone type of feeling. All right, any questions other than that? We can discuss. If you have a question, please raise your virtual hand. Yes, Melinda, please go ahead.
Bhante, can Bhante explain again the requirement for to be a Pandita?
No, here we were talking about the requirement of a pandita when it comes to handling our feelings, actually. So the first thing is to being able to diminish clinging towards panchakanda. That is number one. Number two is diminishing those overindulgence talks about sensuality, right? And this is what will lead finally, eventually, to practice upekka. Upekka is the level of feelings which panditas are using to understand any state of their feeling. Now, panditas are not necessarily enlightened ones too, right? Even unenlightened people can become panditas until they get to that point from which they become enlightened. Right. Any other questions? Well, I understand. Upekka mind doesn't have any questions. Huh? When you have Upekka, you have no problems. You manage problems. Right. We will take one more minute for any questions about today, about how panditas, I mean, of course, how we are supposed to manage our state of feelings. Remember, some time ago, I shared with you something very interesting, that even to take care of our akusala states, being able to understand our feelings could be much easier to tackle our akusala thoughts rather than catching them in the abstract chittas. Catching them with the abstract chittas could be more challenging than, because once you have an akusala or kusala thought, you will see the joy, kusala or akusala joy. So that means understanding feelings well, especially sukha, dukkha, upekka, would be really important in your daily life. All right, looks like there are no questions at this point. Then we will transfer good karma. So once again, I want to summarize today in short, in brief. Today we were talking about how panditas manage their feelings. They manage their feelings to the point that they are not clinging to any five aggregate. Okay. And then as a result of having the right attitude and right management of their five aggregates, they are able to practice upekka. So for people like us, what we need to understand is that regardless of enlightenment or not enlightenment, we should cultivate the right attitude towards five aggregates. Should I obsess with my rupa or should I understand my rupa kanda? Should I obsess with my vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana, or I understand that my very composites of my structure, the very core is rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana. I know that because of the amalgamation of these five, there is a person, there's an animal, there's a deva, naga, mahitika. Other than that, there is nobody. So I should have an understanding rather than clinging toward these five and making myself a very obsessed, addicted person with regard to anything. Right? This is what we've been discussing. So with that, we are going to transfer the good karmas. May all the good karmas we've been making today by learning about how panditas are managing their feelings and then making way to upekka be transferred to all departed relatives who passed away in the name of all of us. May they be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idang me nyati nang huntu sukita huntu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang huntu sukita huntu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang huntu sukita huntu nyatayo. Next, we usually share good karmas with Devanaga Mahindika. This is another way to lower, diminish our clinging towards Sankara Kanda, because we can cling to our good karmas. I mean, good karma. So then, this is why we are sharing and transferring. May all the good karmas be shared with all Devanaga Mahindika. May they be well and happy. May they protect and bless all of you, your family members, for good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety, happiness. May they also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha cha bhummattha devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu sasanam. Akasattha cha bhummattha devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu desanam. Akasattha cha bhummattha devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu mang parang chirang rakhantu tvam sadati. Next, we make this wish all the time at the end of any good karma. Panditas are not important just because they are panditas, and wishing the company of panditas, and as a pandita wishing to help other people to become panditas is also important. May we be able to be surrounded with these panditas, kalyana mittas, at the same time may we become kalyana mittas, panditas to as many sentient beings as we meet in this sansaric life till we attain Nibbana. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamo satang samagamo pu yave nibbana patya. Finally, may all the good karmas we be making today by learning about Pandita's nature of attitude, nature of dealing with feelings, you can say emotions as well, and then how they get to Upekka as a result of not clinging or diminishing the clinging part towards Panchakanda. May all these good karmas be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silisse nichang vadha pracha ino chattaru dhamma vadhanti ayuvannu sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati samichatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With those blessings, wishing you a pleasant good evening at the same time. Look forward to seeing you next Thursday at the same time. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bhante.
Bhante.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Bhante. Good night, Bhante. Good night,
Bhante,
everybody.
sadhu, 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 sadhu.
Sadhu, Bhante.
Yeah, good night and take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye, brother, sister. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Bhante. Tirvan Saranai.
Thank you, Bante.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
Bhante,
Bhante.
everybody.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Bante.
Good night. Good night.